Hello patrons, it's me, Jess, here with your weekly reading. Hi, welcome to your exclusive Patreon weekly reading. This week's is on the soul focus. So this is just things that your spirit is trying to highlight, get you to focus on. I wanted to let you guys know that over the last week, I know I've been a little bit MIA on the internet, and it's because I really have been working super hard on the astrology packages, and I'm just gonna shoot it to you guys straight. Like Vedic astrology in particular, it's so in depth and it's so nuanced. Just really, I'm just saying this to you guys, like, it feels like you need like an advanced degree, you know what I mean? And so I am really putting in the time. I just want you guys to know Vedic astrology, there's 5 different very well developed systems that you can use to read Vedic astrology or Jyotish. And then on top of it, you have several different charts. So they have the divisional charts, 16 different divisional charts, figuring out which ones I want to put together and use like for specific readings and things like that, and feeling proficient, you know, and having resources to, if I feel like I have questions whenever I am looking at someone's chart, and resources, which is, thank you guys so much. A lot of what I use your patron dollars for is just beefing up my astrological library. So at the very least, I have reference guides if I ever do get stuck on anything. But I've been putting together things like behind the scenes, so I have like a method that I'm following, because the thing of it is, like whenever you learn about like Vedic astrology, it's like the deeper you get, the more like certain things cross other things out. And that's why they tell you not to freak out whenever you read your astrology chart and you see something that's like a little bit weird or uncomfortable, because you might have like what they call a yoga going on or something like that, that is actually canceling that out. So just in order for me to do this responsibly, and especially karmically responsibly, that's why I'm really taking my time, and I'm setting up like a lot of things, systems, my own like processes and stuff to make sure that I'm double checking certain things. That's why I'm spending so much time doing it, is because it's so easy to get wrong. And I just want to be completely transparent about that. And honestly, I do want to say a special thank you to you guys, because that basically is the function of Patreon, is getting me up and running as a really good astrologer, and it really could not happen without you guys. So that's what I've been doing the last week, and I feel like I'm catching a momentum with it, and I'm excited to just keep pouring myself into that. It always makes me a better reader, and I have this weird thing that happens whenever I read like spiritual texts. And I was listening to an interview with Modest Yahoo, the rapper, the spiritual rapper guy, and he was talking about whenever he reads certain things, like that actually sparks his intuition and like his creative process. I feel the same way, and I've never heard anyone describe it like that, but just looking at my own chart, I'm like, oh my gosh, it really actually does get me in the flow of things. And that was just a big realization for me, because as I feel like any good reader or occultist just kind of has to ask themselves if they're projecting, like if, you know, like if the things that they're taking in, if that's a projection or if it's part of their intuitive process. And so that was just a big realization for myself too that I've had. And so I don't know, I just can't thank you guys enough for allowing me to dive into the astrology, because I feel like it just beefs me up on a lot of different levels. So anyways, after that very long introduction, I hope you guys are doing really good too. And I'm just letting you know that there is some construction going on outside my window. So if you hear like scraping and like, I don't know, rocks and stuff, that's what that is. So I do have 3 piles here. Whoops. And I will put the picture up. I forgot where I was in time and space. Yeah, I'll put the picture up here, and I'll see you at your piles. All right, pile number 1. What is your soul focus? First of all, you guys could have some kind of disruptive energy in your life, and it doesn't necessarily have to be external. So I feel like the essence of your soul focus right now is duality. So and the feminine is always dual. So you guys could be really exploring your feminine side, or you could be at a really crucial juncture of the female path, this side of you that is more passive and reflective. But you're starting to realize, or at the front and center of your mind or your spiritual experience, there's a duality that you are becoming aware of in yourself. I'm really getting the energy of Uttarabhadra over here, and Uttarabhadra is the Saturn ruled nakshatra in the middle of Pisces. And that is all about building good karmas for the next life. Revati, the final life. So you guys could feel that you have a lot of karma that you have been burning through, but you're starting to notice that there is 2 sides to your nature. Perhaps one side has been suppressed for a really, really long time. Uttarabhadra is also the energy of the sea snake, which likes to submerge in water, right? It likes to be immersed in spirituality, all things spiritual, those deep questions of life, but has to surface, in order to get air. And so you could be going through one of those moments where you've really been exploring your feminine side, your more spiritual side. And, but first you could feel some frustration because it's like reality calls. Reality, you guys definitely are very aware of wanting to live more, like I'm hearing Belle, I want much more than this provincial life. Like you're tired of the 9 to 5. You don't want to just work a job and go home in the evening and put a microwave dinner in. That's not the life that you want. You want something else. And so your spiritual focus is actually reckoning with both sides of your nature here. And actually, when I was shuffling these cards, I've never noticed this before, but this lady here in the middle of these cards, she looks like she could be the same person. It's just she has a different haircut. I never have seen that before. She literally looks like she has the same face, just she has short hair, and then she has it looks almost like she's got a wig on there. So to me, it seems like there's a part of you, it's like you really don't want to be inauthentic. And you're noticing that maybe there's some parts of you that seem to be inauthentic. Like it seems like you're wearing a little bit of a mask, but you're doing that in order to get by in the daily world. And I feel like that's frustrating you a little bit, where you realize that you're a little too slick. You know what I'm saying? You're a little too good for the game with the prince here, romantic charm and potential for power. You guys might be noticing that you know how to play the game. And I feel like you're calling yourself on it and you're like, ugh, what's that? You're catching yourself in the spiritual mirror. In feng shui, I don't know where I read this, but you're not supposed to put a mirror right in front of your bed, because if your spirit leaves in the middle of the night, it could see itself and then get scared. I don't know where I heard that, and I don't know if it's true, but that's kind of what I'm thinking about, is your spirit was starting to grow, and I don't know, maybe even astral travel. Some of you guys could be playing around with that, which has a lot to do with dreaming in your South Node. And so it's just you've got some kind of a sight to yourself, and you're like, man, I really don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to play the game. So, and I feel like that's where that masculine nature is, right? That masculine nature helps us to act in the material world and do what we need to do in order to get by. So it seems like maybe you're feeling really at odds, the spiritual side to yourself is feeling super at odds with the material side to yourself right now, where you're like, I just don't want to have to play the game. I want to dive fully into my spirituality. Some of you guys, you're doing so much deep diving work. You have Judgment, which is the Pluto card here. And you have this cross here, which is the sign, the masculine and feminine intersection point. So much spiritual inner imagery is just, it's so sexual. It's just the 2 elements combining in order to be creative, right? So there's parts to you that you are starting to get in touch with, and as you're getting in touch with them, you're really reluctant to let them go. You really want to see them through. I feel like you guys are in a really creative space, actually, but it's just, I feel like you guys all know what feeling I'm trying to describe here. So it's making you want to make some kind of real change in your life here, some kind of real change. And it's also making you want to sort things out. And also I'm hearing upcycle and recycle. So you might be literally, and maybe this is literally with the things in your house maybe, but you're trying to look around, take stock of what you have and how you can maybe repurpose it in some way in your life. I feel like in the past, where with this King of Swords, some of you guys, you were on a very mental path, or some of you were completing a degree program or something with this King of Swords, where you were learning about things more masculine, more logical, but his sword here, it's off to the side. Ow. So because it's never the full truth. So some of you guys, this, whatever you've been studying or learning about has caused some kind of transformation within you. And you learned something. Some of you guys, like, you literally read something, you learned something, and then something changed. It, like, a cycle changed for you. So the root of this is some kind of a choice here with the Lovers, and how to take action in the material world based on a spiritual perspective. This looks like a big reckoning, honestly. Like, you have two 8th house energies. Gemini, I talked about this before. Like, Gemini is an 8th house energy because it's 8 from the 8th house. So it's the higher self of the 8th house. So for some of you guys, it's good to talk about it with people that are close. Like, maybe this is the energy of a bit of an existential crisis in one way, where you guys are like, what's the point? What's the point of this if I can't live my spirituality in the way that I want? And I feel like it actually is starting some kind of new cycle, but you're realizing you need to give something up, and that you're realizing you need to balance out, because some of you guys have profound knowledge in something. You're very smart, very observant people. But you're starting to realize, like, there's something to this intuition thing. There's something to, and I want to be able to explore that more. How do I get my own self out of my mental way, you know? For some of you guys, there's a real need to have authority over your own thoughts, to, like, control your own thoughts. You know what I mean? And this more emotional side is, like, kind of getting in the way. A lot of you guys are having, I'm just going to say it, a lot of you guys are in a super intuitive place. You're getting a lot of downloads from the universe, and it just might be making you feel uncomfortable because maybe you press this down. Maybe you guys have realized that you've always been a little bit intuitive, or some of you guys are flat out clairsentient and you get messages that come through your mind and you're, like, shoving that down because it freaks you out. Because in the future, but this is, like, this is spirit trying to give you some kind of offering here. And I feel like you're trying to, maybe you have in the past perhaps been trying to put your mind on other things. And some of you guys, it's love. And I've been saying this, I've been getting the sense in these readings that there is some kind of plutonic weaponizing where highly spiritual people, not by far, not everyone, but I feel like people with strong spiritual missions in this life, I kind of feel like they're getting sucked in to obsessive relationships as a means of almost, like, I'm seeing, like, bloodletting, like almost running out all of that energy as a way of just, like, draining them of that power. And some of you guys are becoming aware of that, and you cut something off in the past. That's another thing. Some of you guys, this has been a love situation. Ooh, it was plutonic. Maybe you guys have had a Pluto moon kind of connection. Ooh, because I'm getting the energies of Pluto moon. For some of you guys, somebody was always in your business. But you cut that out in your past, and it was hard and it was difficult and it was entirely a mental decision. And for some of you with the King of Swords, you were working with a professional. You flat out sat down with a therapist that was like, no, honey, we're not sidestepping this. And, like, you guys really made a decision to cut it out. And then there's something that happened with your energy where all of a sudden you had more energy and you were like, what? And so now you're working on your boundaries. Whoa, because we're doing the boundaries reading tomorrow. With the Ace of Pentacles, this is my boundaries card where you're setting up boundaries and then things are growing. Like, there's a lushness that's happening inside of you. So that's your spiritual, that's your spiritual focus. And it's like, I usually get the energy of, like, Ardra, right? It's sorrow because it's a release. For some of you guys, there was, like, an announcement or you got a message. Definitely there's the energy of a message here. Or this could be something like, I don't know, this could be a really big announcement. This could be, like, on a governmental level wherever you're living, where it's like somebody made some kind of announcement and then you got news that it's going to affect your life in this way. But there is some kind of a shakeup in your life. And I feel like in the past, you weren't trying to be emotional. Like, I just feel like some of you guys cut something out of your life here. Yeah. And you've been processing possibly, like, just some self-esteem issues or something like that, but it's really changing the way that you're focused on yourself. And you're realizing that you have romantic charm and potential for power. I feel like this is kind of a wake-up call, and there's something about protecting your own energy and growing yourself on the inside so that when it comes time to push out into the world in a different way, you're integrating some kind of deep spiritual knowledge, and you guys are dealing with plutonic issues here, deep suppressed 8th house stuff. And we have the energy of Scorpio into the energy of Sagittarius here. So I'm really getting that processing abandonment. Here we go, because this is Jesha into Mula Nakshatra, so you could have those prominent in your chart. But I'm getting that like processing betrayal and abandonment is going to have a huge change in your fortune, and practicing non-attachment is a big thing with Mullah. And that's what changes your fortune. And just understanding the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows, the ebbs and the flows. That's a MC Yogi song. And part of that is by just cultivating your own inner self here. But yeah, and also Jesha, I'm almost feeling we get a lot of Jesha energy on this channel, which is a huge Gandanta point. So, and I'm kind of getting that, like this is a huge changeover point. And the thing is, in the Kali Yuga, which we're exiting now, this poor goddess that I can never remember that rules Jesha, she was not like, she was pushed down, because a lot of times these people make sacrifices for their families. They make sacrifices for other people, and it's not ever acknowledged. And so by not appreciating that energy from the Jesha person, you guys, not appreciating those sacrifices, because some of you guys were making sacrifices and somebody was being very selfish and manipulative and didn't really care. It leads to poverty. So by worshiping this Jesha individual, you gain prosperity. I'm feeling like you're starting to invest your energy into your own self, because you realize you were making sacrifices for someone in the past that just, it wasn't worth your time. And this person was very cold and very distant and not emotional. You guys are in a very emotional way right now. And I feel like you're like somehow, you're connecting with your intuition in a deeper way, but it's like you had to cut something out in order to hear your intuition. Because it's refining, it's sharpening in some way. And part of that is through Mercury. So again, it's like you guys are getting a really interesting look at yourself. You know, monks from all traditions, but I know this is heavily practiced in Buddhism, and Jung, like Jungian, all Jungian techniques really talk about like active imagination, where you have these conversations with yourself and you try to like put yourself into like ask your own self questions, and then almost like step out and sit in another chair in order to answer those questions. So you're having this conversation with different sides of yourself almost. That's maybe practice that active imagination. And definitely if you guys are dreaming, maybe you want to do some like Jungian dream work where you take different characters that show up in your dream and you interview them. You ask them a question and like literally get up and sit in another chair. Anyway, so the shadow attribute here, we have hero, heroine, escapism, and false sense of heroism. Some of you guys, maybe you have been escaping. Some of you guys could be drinking more or just indulging in some kind of substance, or your spirituality, but there's something where you're just not wanting to connect with reality in a way, like the hard parts of reality. And this could be with this 8th house energy here. This could be from your childhood, from your past, and things that made you experience a loss. You guys could be living far away from where these traumatic events happen. Some of you guys are flat out processing trauma. And it could be because you've developed a very strong relationship with someone that's, they're not pouring their emotions on it. So all of a sudden you're free to explore your own emotions about the situation. But yeah, so you're starting to realize that there's this whole other side to yourself that you've really suppressed and pushed down. And that's the missing piece. Ooh, that's the missing piece. That's kind of what I'm getting is like, maybe, yeah, it's like there's something that was really controlling your psyche. But, and it's like you're going down to the basement and you're going up to the attic and you're just turning those lights on, you're opening the windows, you're dusting stuff out. And some of you guys, this is highly internal work. And so like going out into the public and stuff while you're doing this might feel very uncomfortable. So it's just telling you to have some kind of like a safe space, you know, and to trust the experience and to have very strong boundaries. Maybe some of you guys, maybe you want to not talk so much or something, like just focus what's it called? Like just a silent retreat or something. If you can take a couple days and just, even like if it's your days off where you like just go in complete silence, you take an entire day and you don't talk to anybody. Because in the future, I feel like you guys are processing relationships and failed relationships, things that didn't really plan out to you, but there's something coming in. You guys are pulling in a soulmate because you're doing, look at this, you're in strong manifesting energy. And it's beautiful that you guys are going inside and it's almost like you're cleaning something out. Because I feel like this is, I'm picturing the train and you know, they pull the lever and then like another track opens up. That's kind of what I'm getting is like you're at that kind of a juncture moment. And it's because you cut something off in the past. And it is almost like when you're pruning the leaves, like all that energy went to your roots. Mula is the root. And so you guys are getting in touch with your root because of something here in your life. And also Uttara Bhadra is very passive energy. It doesn't change something unless it's stimulated from the outside. And so I feel like there's something here that you've lost. You've lost something here, and I feel like maybe you even caused it. Like on purpose. You did it very consciously. You were very aware of it, and you took your emotions out. You made the hard decision. You cut it off, and then all of a sudden you had this burst of energy that went to your roots, and all of a sudden like you're in that root kind of energy where you're doing a lot of that internal work, purging work, but then it is gonna blossom. It's gonna have some kind of shoots. And I'm hearing The Secret Garden. So it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, or I know it's a book too, right? But maybe there's something about this secret garden. You're building this secret garden within yourself where you're free to have this other side to you. Because there's a side to you guys, and it could be your more feminine side. Because this group's smart. And let me just say, like, as a person who's like smart and spiritual, sometimes it can be like really weird to find where your people are and to know who you can have conversations with. And so you're just building your own place for yourself where you can be both sides of this. I'm also noticing these mountains here, and it feels very much like this duality, right? This masculine, feminine side to yourself that can't quite make it, that can't quite get to each other. But I really do feel like just shadow work, Jungian work, where you're really looking at the things that you've suppressed, it's gonna help. It's gonna help. Because some of you guys realize that you've been blocking real love. Because we have the energy Pluto. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this real fast. You have Taurus and Scorpio. This is the love power axis. And take it from somebody with a Venus opposed her Pluto in Taurus and Scorpio. That love and power are not the same thing. And that can be really difficult. So some of you guys, like if someone's getting Pluto energy, right? Scorpio energy, it's like somebody playing power dynamic games with you are getting jealous and envious. And you're like, oh, this person must love me. So it's almost like maybe these third-party situations, also Venus, Pluto, there is a conversation going on here because Venus exalts in Pisces. So it is like there's real love that's trying to come in and you are manifesting that energy, but there's something about like the universe is waking you up to something where it's telling you the way that you're sabotaging things and that you're closed off to real love because you're focused on something else. It's like the way that love is being defined here. And we see that with the Lovers as well here too. I keep hearing that song that in What's Around the Corner, Man, No One Really Knows. Road Home. Road Home by MC Yogi. God bless all the souls traveling the road home. Yeah, because I feel like, first of all, you're receiving a blessing from heaven. There's an angel here that's been very forceful with you. You do have a guardian angel around you right now. It's been very forceful angel. I feel like this is the energy of Archangel Michael. So I want to say for those of you who believe in that and who work with the archangels and you have that lineage, that those people are around you. And it's calling out some kind of mental process that wasn't getting you towards the truth because it needed to be balanced out with some kind of intuition, but you're getting that right now. There could be, I'm getting that there's something unpleasant in the environment that's around you. A lot of like, you could have a person in particular with this King of Wands that's just very stubborn. Maybe this person is like, they're getting all the glory around you, but they're not like delegating to people. They're not keeping people in line. And so it's actually making you closed off. There's something about your environment and the way, like how abrasive it is around you that's causing you to block off. But the universe is trying to give you some kind of a gift here. What is this? What is the universe trying to gift you? It doesn't know yet because you're in a strong energy of manifestation. You guys are gestating something, but it is bringing in some kind of abundance. And the universe, you guys, I can't say this enough. The universe is trying to communicate with you. Like your intuition is on fleek right now. Yes, like about your dreams and goals. I feel like the universe is bending down and is like, hey, what do you want? What do you want? And Archangel Michael's like, okay, so we got to get rid of this. We got to get rid of that, right? Because you guys are enacting whatever has been going on. right? Like whatever your worldview has been, you know, so you've got to change some things in order to get a different outcome. And that's why Archangel Michael's here so strong. Anything else? This has been a very interesting pile. Some of you guys like have really been disillusioned with someone in a leadership position. Because you're realizing, like, I keep hearing that song, you guys, and in it, it's like there was something like some kind of, it's a word for thief, like at the pulpit, stashing cash behind the mantle. He's talking about how he's getting disillusioned because there were people co-opting spirituality for material gain. You guys are like being disillusioned by things like that, where you're like really upset about the way spirituality is treated in the world. Yeah, it's really telling you there's so much going on under the surface with you guys. And it's gestating now, and it's going to shoot out possibly around Aries time. Pisces into Aries. But there is a lot of abundance that wants to come your way. But abundance is not just material. And you know what's interesting? The Bhadras, you have Uttara Bhadra here. We keep coming back to this. Both Purva and Uttara Bhadra, they receive blessings from their past life. And it makes very clear in the Vedas that blessings are not considered just material. It's having a good family, having good people around you, feeling supported. And I feel like you guys are cutting out nonsense and you're changing direction in one way or another. And it might surprise you. It might surprise you because you're thinking about so many things, but it wants you to get out of your mental head and into your intuition, because this road, this train track that is trying to push you on is, it might surprise you. It might not be something you could think up, you know? And the angels, your guides, this information, it's trying to find its way and navigate around, your mental processes, because it's like the silt from the river all getting like, it needs to settle back down so that there can be some kind of clarity. Okay, and it has something to do with a skill as well. And then I can't help but notice that, first of all, Jupiter is the guru. So some of you guys, you have someone that's working with you. There's something to do with leadership, and but somebody who's like very good at what they do, and they're calling you out in some way. Maybe it's me. I'm going to go ahead and take that as a compliment. Maybe it's just this reading. But with this mediator, gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. And I can't, like, this is masculine, feminine energies again. And I'm also getting, you know, like the theme from Frozen is that she's the fifth element. She's the thing that joins them all together. That's you right now. Like, you're in this energy of you are the conduit that can allow both of these energies to get into the right and proper places so that they're expressing proper, you know, you're acting from that masculine side, and you're receiving your intuition from your feminine side, and they're both working together in order to overcome obstacles. Because you are overcoming some obstacles in this life in order to, there's some karma being set for your next life. Yeah, definitely. And some of you guys, there's something that wants to grow out of this. It wants to grow and have physical shape, but you're not there yet. I feel like you're just going through a very internal time where, but it's going to grow. It's going to grow into something, but it's almost like you just have to allow yourself to regenerate, so that you almost build yourself entirely anew, and then that new avatar that you've created of yourself, like, can go forth and do whatever it is that you're doing. But you're jumping tracks, basically, was what I'm realizing. Because I think some of you guys, you've been receiving the right information to make some pretty big leaps in your soul's journey. So congratulations to you guys, pile number one. This is absolutely amazing. You guys are growing and expanding. Ultimately, you're being able to negotiate both sides of yourself through some kind of learning and downloads, and you're open to knowledge. But I feel like this knowledge is knowledge of the spirit, where you're and I'm also getting that in Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, like, his teacher makes him get a college degree, even though he doesn't want that, because he says Americans only recognize, like, credentials. So he made him do that. But, like, this guy, Paramahansa Yogananda, like, he would not study. He wouldn't study. He would just, like, refuse to. And then he would just, like, because he could work with spirit, like, he could get, like, help on his exams and stuff. So there's something like that, where you're realizing you don't have to download everything from, like, a book or from, like, I don't know, like this more traditional academic path. You're realizing that you're tapped into the universe itself. So anyways, I feel like I've done enough talking for you guys. Pile number one. That's what I have. Thank you so much for being patrons. I love you guys so much. Thank you again just for supporting me on my own journey. I hope that it's going to flower and contribute to this. I hope we're creating this amazing feedback loop. To where whenever you're ready for this to come to fruition, hopefully I kind of get the sense that maybe I will be offering astrology readings, because I'm hoping to start offering it at the end of Pisces season, beginning of Aries, like this next year. So maybe as you guys are starting to flower and grow, you'll have extra support from me around that time. So anyways, thank you guys. Pile number one. Bye. Number two, what is your soul focus right now? There's a lot of feminine energy coming out right now. I don't know if it's like the sign of the times or what, because it was coming out a little bit in pile one, but this is definitely different energy. But I'm just letting you know that if you were drawn to pile one, maybe that's a thing. But okay, so your soul focus is your own self-fulfillment, because you have so much Venus energy here, you guys. You have the Two of Cups, and you have Taurus, and you have the Venus card here. And the Venus is 16, which adds up to a 7, right? And Libra is the 7th house. Taurus and Libra are both the Venus houses. So there's a ton of Venus energy coming through in your energy. And Venus, like basically the mantra of Venus is, I want what you want. It's the energy of diplomacy and compromise and also values, what we find valuable and what we, because if we find something valuable, we're more willing to compromise in order to achieve it. So there's something that you guys have been finding very valuable, and it's something that you've put a lot of time and energy into building up. Look, we've got the Empress. Oh my gosh, this is Venus. She is Venus embodied. A lot of you guys are very loyal, and you're experiencing some kind of abundance here because of maybe somebody else. Maybe there is a King of Pentacles. So some of you guys, maybe you are married because you have the Two of Cups in your past position, right? And it was very fruitful for you for a time. But with the Seven of Pentacles coming out, there's a lot here where you're starting to question what is actually valuable to you, right? Taurus rules what we ourselves find valuable, but it's the thing that people miss about Taurus is that it's always personalized, and it's the job of especially that feminine side to us that decides what we value. And wealth, I was listening to something. Wealth is defined as having a lot of something valuable, but that's the thing, is what do you find valuable? There's a sense here that what you found valuable in the past and what was producing results for you in the past, and I feel like definitely material kind of a way, maybe it produced a lot of stability and abundance in something, is you're wondering if that's your path forward in the future, right? but there's still like a lot of good feelings there. But you're starting to ask yourself, what do you want to be truly fulfilled, and especially spiritually fulfilled? There was a lot of existential, like, kind of crisis stuff coming out in pile number 1 too. I don't feel that this is like quite an existential crisis. I just feel like there's something here that was very traditional. Maybe it worked for you for a long time, pile number 2, but you're starting to get a whiff of something else with this Uranus card here. You're starting to want to break with tradition, and it could be something that's hitting you quite suddenly, and it feels like there's a couple cycles in your life that you're wondering whether or not you should end those, whether or not you should wrap that up. And it could be personal life and like your professional life, because maybe some of you, I don't know, like you want to go to Thailand and just chill and meditate every day or something like that. Because we have storyteller here, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. I'm really drawn to this experience and express life. But I feel like this is more of a blockage with the 10 of Pentacles here. There's something that's very developed and very heavy and like cumbersome. It's like a big ship that you're considering turning, but it would cost you a lot, pile number 2. And this is somehow tying into the heart of your spiritual journey right now, because it's so much deeper than what it seems. Because what you're doing is you're going through and you're asking yourself if what A is valuable to society, right? Lineage, legacy, assets, tradition, those kinds of things. If you find that valuable, maybe this is the first time you're asking yourself this, or it's the first time you're asking yourself this in some kind of new light. And B, you're asking yourself if what has been valuable to you before is still valuable. And because there's a sense here with the 7 of Pentacles that perhaps the energy that you're going to invest in the future wouldn't give you the same results that it has in the past. And I see that you guys, like, this is a very confusing pile, and I really feel for you because there's a lot of like amazing energy here, like really good energy. And there's also like these themes of loyalty and having a plan, being very methodical, you know. So I'm seeing that like you guys can move forward in this for sure with the Strength card here. There's a sense of just putting off some kind of storm though, in order, like going along to get along. That's definitely the energy of Venus, but you guys are challenging that. There's a lot of value in that energy, but Venus, good astrologers, you guys never consider Venus without considering Mars right alongside it, because Venus says, I want what you want. Mars says, I want what I want. And you have the Strength card here, which is Sun energy. I'm really getting the energy of Critica. And Critica is abandonment. So I feel like there's some kind of fear of like abandoning tradition, family, something like this. But I feel like why this is coming up as a spiritual focus is because what I never do this. I'm like B. Why am I doing this? Some of you guys are making lists where you're like you have your pros and cons lists. This is funny. Okay, so I was listing something off in an obnoxious fashion. Well, yeah, it's like you guys are trying to not stir the pot here. I completely forgot the list that I was about to make. Because you're pulled in a lot of different directions. And that's what I mean, is like, it feels like that's why this is so important, is because what am I doing? Is because this pile is very highly spiritually developed, but your spirituality is crossing over. I talk about this a lot. Liz Green, she's very well known in the astrological community, but she talks heavily about this earth energy is no joke. When you're approached with this heavy Pentacles earth energy, which you have written all over this, and you guys are at the point where you're coming out here with the 9 of Cups, you're considering your own fulfillment, your own spirituality, and how you want to infuse that into like the material world. That's very, very high level spiritual stuff, but it's slow moving and it's painful. And again, it feels like a really big ship. So you're trying to like not have a bunch of chaos in your life. Because I do think this pile values stability and not being chaotic. It's funny because I'm the chaos witch, but the reason I call myself the chaos witch is because I value stability. But yeah, I feel like maybe you guys are the same way. So I feel like you guys are at a point though in your life where you can overcome something. Like you have built up some sort of strength, which again, I feel like it's almost like there's a lens that's fallen away. And there's also, you're seeing something from yourself. You're getting to know yourself. You're in a relationship with yourself where you're like, hey self, where would you like to go to dinner tonight? You know? Oh, I didn't know you liked shellfish. But like, you know, it's on a spiritual level. Oh, I didn't know that you like this. And some of you guys, like there's a new group of friends or something around you that has introduced you to this. There's some kind of new influence, or you could have read about something online with this Uranus energy, or some kind of, because Uranus is the energy of groups, but it's online, and it can be like some kind of scientific discovery. I don't know. So yeah, we have this goddess energy that's coming out, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. I just feel like you guys are trying to express yourself possibly in a different way, and you just want to make sure it's your own feminine energy. And I feel like doing very feminine things, like you're doing a lot of inner reflecting. So do it in a bubble bath. Feed yourself grapes. Eat some cake and drink some red wine. Grow a little bit of a belly. I'm also, in Eat, Pray, Love, where she goes to Italy and she eats all the carbs and everything. And there's that beautiful muffin top scene where she's like, has he ever left the room? That scene. Because also with the Page of Cups, and then you have the Page of Pentacles here. I feel like you guys are getting a whiff that you could do something different. And it's exciting because it's new. And it feels, like I said, it just feels inspired in some way. And you're starting to realize that you could turn that into your tangible reality. This pile does know that. You have a very deep understanding because you've done that. Like, you're builders. This pile is builders. You know how to build things valuably. Valuably? Yeah. And you know how to put the time and the work in. But so I feel like for you, because you know that, because you're so aware of it, you're like, do I want to put the time and the work in? And you're just trying to balance out certain things of your life, and you're trying to be more authentic with the Temperance card. Because there's just a real sense that you could turn something into a reality here. Yeah, look, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's so much Pentacles energy, you guys. What on earth? So yeah, this visionary. Oh, here we go. Shadow attribute, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. This is why you're defining your own sense of value. This Taurus second house energy is also how we make our own money, and it's our self-esteem, our own voice, and our own values. Because you will be you hear people say all the time, like, you'll be most successful in the area that you find valuable, right? Because you have the stamina. It'll give you the stamina to make that happen. And then you also have this Libra energy over here. So that makes me think of like business partners. So maybe some of you are tempted to compromise your vision in order to get along with somebody in your life. But you have to really ask yourself if compromising on that vision in order to maybe make money or something like that, keep money, hold on to assets, if compromising yourself and your own vision is right. If it's right for you, if it's a right fit. It's almost, I'm getting like a shoe that's too small. And then also with this, I just feel like I want to read the top part, especially with this Uranus energy. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. I'm feeling like you guys are whiffing. You guys are getting a whiff that the tides are changing. And you're getting it before anybody else in your life. Because there's an energy around you that's very stable, that's very comfortable. And you know that I'm getting that phrase from the Bible that's like, it's easier for a camel to pass through an eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And it's because the rich man is just so concerned with, he's so comfortable that he doesn't really need to change, and he's so busy tending to his material assets, making sure everything's insured, and I don't know. But I feel like you guys are actually stepped out of that energy to where you're getting this whiff that the tides are changing. They're not changing yet, but you sense something kind of coming. And so you're getting this foresight because you're very intuitive. And some of you, there's something going on with your throat. And it is your intuition that's piping up. Okay, and there's something to do with your moon here. Pay attention to your cravings, you guys, because you guys are having some cravings right now, some food cravings. There's something about the way you're feeding yourself and the way that you're feeding your life that's like intertwined. But yeah, you have this... there's something here that you're just being asked to embody. I feel like proclaim is a shallow word to use. It's like embody, and through like embodying that, you're proclaiming it. But yeah, with this Five of Wands, you could be afraid of like a lot of gossip, what other people would say, what other people would want. But your spiritual focus is like, in spite of that, in spite of all these different voices, and in spite of there's one person in particular that you have a very long-standing close relationship with, whether it's in business or in love, and you are maybe even a family with the Ten of Pentacles, or like you've really built up a business, or all of the above, because this is definitely a pile you could work with your significant other, or you definitely have shared assets. But yeah, you're starting to ask yourself what makes you feel good, and then considering maybe compromising on some of these things, because you guys have assets to spare, I feel like, or or value to spare, whatever you're defining as valuable. So yeah, you're rising up into this Critica energy here, which also that Critica rules the digestion. I'm getting like there's so much stuff here about food that you're eating. I feel like some of you guys, you just need to eat a lot, and you need to eat things that taste good to you, and just maybe indulge a little bit and pamper yourself. Yeah. That's what I'm really getting for you guys. But the root of this is this Five of Wands, some kind of conflict and maybe fearing loss here. But there's a whole lot of stuff here that's not important. The Spirit is saying you need to define what's important here. Don't let other people define it, because there's other people that are getting in your head, pile number 2. And one person in particular, because you don't want to abandon this person, but you're strong enough to confront this issue in some way. And you want to do it in a way that makes sure I'm just saying, like, I see that you want to do it in a way that isn't chaotic for people, because you like things not being chaotic. So I think that's all I'm getting here. Okay, and also with the storyteller energy, I'm feeling like there's a whole narrative around this decision, right? That's defining, if you sit down in the bubble bath while you're indulging in some red wine, if that's your thing, or in some cake, just trust me on this. This is going to help you spiritually. I'm just convinced of it. Then while you're doing that and you're paying attention to the story that you're telling yourself, you're going to hear where other people's voices are and where your voice is. And even like, I don't know if you guys haven't been eating food that you like because maybe you've been having to follow someone else's preferences, but I feel like even just like where you're like, I like shrimp and I haven't eaten shrimp in a fortnight, you know, like, and you do that, I just feel like it's going to change you. I know it's simple, but that's what I'm getting. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that was helpful. I'll stop rambling at you guys, but thank you so much for being patrons. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hope that was helpful, and enjoy your cake. Bye guys. Okay, pile number 3, holy Dhanishta energy over here. This is like the most amount of Dhanishta energy that you could get. Dhanishta is a Mars, the height of Mars. It's the last Mars nakshatra, and it connects Capricorn into Aquarius. It's the nakshatra like right here on this border. So I'm getting a lot of things from that, honestly. But the thing that's coming through most clear, I don't know if this is you, or I think for most of you guys, is somebody that you're dealing with in a group of people, possibly at work. But there's somebody here who is not what they seem. And this person is trying to act all friendly with you. Now, especially if this person is like a boss figure, a supervisor, and they're trying to act all buddy-buddy with you. to get you to like loosen up, or maybe you guys, maybe this person's even hitting on you and they could be opening up. I don't know if this person's married, and they could be opening up and saying like them and their wife have some kind of marital problems, which they honestly, if this person is married, they're honestly having marital problems. But you know why that is? Because there's something very toxic about this person's sexual nature, okay? But this person, when push comes to shove, they're putting on a face for you in order to get something out of you. And at the end of the day, this person's about their coin here with this Midas and this Capricorn energy, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing their wealth. And this person has a lot of wealth. This person has some kind of like properties out there. They like to do a lot of traveling. Now, this person might even be trying to take you on some kind of trip, but I'm telling you, there's a nefarious thing behind this trip. If this person's like, oh, we're going for the good of humanity, or, you know, whatever that is, they're hiding something. And if this is happening at a workplace, because in the past, I feel like there was a distinction between roles of some kind. And this is also saying that there's something trying to come through with your career here. You guys are building your career, you're building your skills. Some of you guys are going to get something where you could be like an ambassador for your job, or you're traveling for work or something like that. But there's somebody watching you. You guys, your boss is watching you. I don't know why this is coming out in your spiritual focus. Well, I guess we're going to get there, but I'm just trying to say what I'm seeing in the cards here. There is somebody that's watching you. And somebody maybe who is trying to sabotage you, or who is just very sexually attracted to you, honestly, and like trying to see what they can get. And what I'm about to say is explicit, and it's not going to apply to everybody, but there's the energy of anal here. So like, I don't know if that's like a big thing for this person, or like they're trying to get it out of you in particular, but it's definitely here. So anyways, this person has like some kind of dual nature, but this person's also very stubborn that you're dealing with. Super stubborn. They're different though. There's something very interesting about this person, and maybe that's why you're drawn to them, because I do feel like there's a sense of freedom here. Okay, so some of you guys, I feel like you're due for a vacation is what I'm wanting to say. And I know that's weird, like with the way that the world is right now, but I feel like there's something about not mixing business and pleasure. And I'm also getting that because Mars, right, the energy of fun, sex, that kind of thing. Mars is the enemy of Saturn, and you have a lot of Saturn here. So, and I feel like you guys are actually in this Mars energy. You need to blow off steam in some way, and just be fun and let loose. And, but somehow there's the energy of here that you could get a little bit loosey-goosey with someone, with the wrong person, where you let out like more of a sexual side of your nature or something. Or like there's a male nature to this over here. And there's like this energy that you could do that, and it could cost you an opportunity. But in the future, you guys are traveling somewhere. You're moving, and it could be in your career. It could be a promotion. It could be that you're leveling up in your career here in some way. And also, like you're gaining something towards your coin. Something, and also if this is something that's important to you, there's something that your parents are going to be very proud of you for doing in the future. But so your sole focus right here, we have the Knight of Wands. Just having fun and following your desire, but it's almost like knowing where and around who in order to do that. And hold on here. I feel like I'm just missing something, because there's something that is you're starting to get some kind of an idea that it can happen in the physical. There's something about that, but there's also careful. Because I feel like there's something here that's going to cause you to let loose in some way. But what's interesting is that Spirit is telling you to let loose, but it's telling you to do it outside of your job. Not to mess with people sexually in your job. Because there's just the energy of betrayal here. So with the 7 of Pentacles, look, we have the 8 of Pentacles. Some of you guys you want some kind of results. You've been working at something, and maybe that's your relationship with this person or something. But I also feel like there's this energy of your job. There's like these parallel energies of a relationship, of a boss figure, and of some of you guys are going to get a promotion. Okay, let me just clarify some of this energy. There's a promotion that wants to come through for you guys. And wow. Hold on. there's something about getting a hold of your desire so that it can pull you, you know, so that it's not, it's, there we go. Yeah. It's like, harnessing your power. And part of that is your sexual nature. And instead funneling it into your job, because there's right now possibly a status difference, but it's going to bump you up. I'm hearing that Ludacris song, I'm gonna bump your status. So there's something here, and it's going to make you more attractive to somebody, but I feel like it's really hard to get this person's attention. And this could be happening, this is a boss, but there's also, it's like there's a boss, but there's a twinge of romance, but definitely don't go at this person with romance. That's what it's saying. Okay. Don't go at this person with romance. Show this person your ambition, okay? And keep work separate, because somebody here might be trying to sabotage you because you're on your way. I feel like you guys are on your way. Somebody that's a part of a friend group here, somebody could be trying to join your social media profiles in order to see what it is that you're up to. Careful of that. Don't add your boss on social media, pile number 3. Somehow this is your spiritual guidance, your soul focus. Don't add your boss on social media, okay? Keep business and pleasure separate for right now, because you're building something, and you're building something in your career, and you're being seen in a certain light. There's also something here, if you are interested in a boss or something, like there's something about you getting a promotion, evening out the status between the two of you, something like that. Let me just clarify this like I said I was going to do. You guys have a beautiful innocence and purity to you, where you're like pretty straight up. You know, Mars is a pure energy insofar as like it kind of does what it says it's going to do. But there's people around you that are not that way. They're more strategic, and they hold themselves back a lot more. And you would notice this. And I feel like part of your identity in this group has been like the fun one, you know? But there's something here about being like taken more seriously or something, and not getting your heart broken, because there's a danger of somebody seeing you in a certain light, you know? There's a beautiful purity here, though, that like will carry you through this unscathed if you just act from a place of purity or something like that. Also, what is he sitting on? I've just never noticed this before, but kind of, is it Mars? Is it Mars? Or is it the sun? What is this? Huh. Because the Emperor is Aries, so I guess it would make sense. Look, so I'm going to say this is Mars. So you have a ton of Mars energy coming here. There's somebody that's threatened by you that's in your friend group. So your sole focus, though, you guys, is to keep your purity of action. Be very pure in your actions this month. Don't get involved in any gossip. Don't add your boss on Facebook. Don't add people on your social media that you don't trust, because somebody might be trying to get some dirt on you because they feel like they're in some kind of competition with you. Yeah, what is going on here? Yeah, competition, 7 of Wands. King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. There's something that fell through in the past that maybe you're thinking, oh, actually that's coming back around, and there's something that I can do about it. I'll just guard my heart and only be sexual with this person, or I'll just guard my heart and only take some actions toward this person, but I won't expect it to build. Hold on, I dropped it. Ugh. There is a real need to protect yourself here, you guys. I don't know why, but I'm getting that scene from, I think it's called The Little Princess. And I haven't seen that. It's like I think it's a child's movie, but it's like a regular movie. And she draws the circle. Her dad draws the circle in chalk, and he's like, whenever you're in the circle, you're safe, you know? So know who your people are. And also, like, there's something about interacting with people more in meet space. Maybe you guys want to take a break from social media this month, because there's some toxic energy going on there for you. Yeah. There is grief here as well. You guys are feeling very heartbroken. Okay. Some of you guys are feeling super heartbroken about a situation, and so maybe it's like you just want to forget all your worries and you just want to act. You just maybe even want to be very sexual or something. and just kind of change your direction. You want to change the funk or the mood that you're in. That's what I'm actually seeing as your sole focus, is like to have fun. But I'm also seeing a warning not to do it at work or around your workmates that could feel a sense of competition towards you. And you have to be very careful because there's somebody real sneaky and real good about it. Like this, you would think this person's your friend, but they're not. And this person would surprise you. Like you, and some of it is like you guys do. You want to transcend this stuffiness. I just feel like you're getting antsy, you know? And that's like a big part of it, but it's saying to go somewhere else. Like I'm hearing, oh my gosh, this is a terrible phrase. I'm from the Midwest and people can be terrible there. But there's this phrase that's like, don't dip your pen in the company ink. That's what I'm getting. It's a sexual reference. You didn't know that, but this person, because you guys, there's somebody here who does not appreciate being hit on in the workplace. They are focused on their coin. They are focused on their own promotions, and they're not trying to be seen in a certain light because they feel like they're being watched by a boss or something. And maybe you're like pulling out ahead of the pack, but this person's like gonna pull away from it because they're very driven, this person. And I don't know if this is you, but there's like a lot of sexual energy. There could be a lot of sexual energy coming towards you. But somebody's like not who they say they are. I'm just seeing to like avoid heartache here. Hold on. Because, hold on, wait. Oh my gosh. Yes. You guys are building towards something that's ultimately going to be fulfilling. And I just feel like this energy this month, there's somebody maybe there's an energy that's trying to throw you off your path, trying to trick you. And, but you guys are headed towards, like, look, you have the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. You're headed towards joy. And also, I'm getting Rohini energy here because Rohini represents the Chariot. And that is like being very innocent, very trusting, very exploratory. But Rohini is the favorite wife of the moon. And the moon is opposite Saturn here. So there could be somebody else coming into your life that's your ultimate joy and your ultimate fulfillment. And you guys could be drawn to travel somewhere. So I'm just throwing this out here. I know it's a very specific example, but some of you guys, you're like, you know what? I need to get out of this place. I'm feeling stuffy and I want to act out, and I know I can't act out here. So I'm going to go on this vacation. You're going to go and you can meet someone, and it could change the course of your whole life. Some of you guys, your job's going to send you on some kind of a trip somewhere, and you're going to meet somebody, or you're going to fall in love with this place, and you're going to move, or you're going to experience a blossoming in your life. That's definitely coming in, but there's just some cautious energy here. Let's just see what this is. Some of you guys, like, you're about your coin, you're about your bag. You are you're also communicating very forcefully. You have a very sexual energy that's coming off of you as well. You guys you're moving towards a dream that you have. And I'm just saying, I'm getting that like there's a person here that maybe is your dream. You're going to get it even if you don't get it in this person. You're pulling in that energy. But it's just telling you to let loose, to maybe let go of this person, to have fun, but to not do it in a workplace. And yeah. I don't understand this. Hold on. Okay, I'm hearing that Frozen song, Show Yourself, from back here. You are the one you've been waiting for all of your life. I know that's not what people want to hear, but I'm hearing that song. Turn yourself into something new. Yeah, so... yeah, like hold back. I'm getting that you need to hold back and manifest something, travel somewhere. There's something going on under the surface, and I feel like you need to let it grow. So you've got to make a choice here. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So then we also have Child Divine here at the bottom, which again, it's like this fun-loving energy. Innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. Also, some of you guys want to like work out or something. Look, Samaritan, that's Aquarius energy for me. refines your capacity to help those you prefer to ignore. Oh. But just be careful, because I feel like maybe that's what this person's going to do to lure you in. Of like, maybe it's like you get a bad vibe from somebody and you're like, I want to help this person, but I also feel like I shouldn't help this person because I feel like maybe they have an angle. If that's what your intuition is saying, back off. You don't have to fix the whole world. You know, you can pull back, hold back, because this person is exactly what you think they could be. And I feel like I don't need to tell you this because this looks like a very happy pile just overall. Like people really like to be around you, but like with this God card, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. There's something here. It's like the combined nature of all this energy is actually pushing you towards your future. Yeah, there is something that's stirring the pot. And there's something about this horse back here, and then the horses, 2 of them. So you could meet someone, and then the 2 of you are going to travel somewhere. Or you're going to travel somewhere, and then you're going to meet someone, and you are in this other person are going to be very happy together, and you're going to move forward. So this is coming out for your soul focus. Because I feel like there's a real pureness here with Mars. Just to be very pure, be very direct with your communication, even if it's telling this person, like, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now because, you know, I've got too much on my own plate. I'm focused on myself. I wish you all the best because you don't have to help this person if you can't give it. It's telling you to focus on your own energy here. And somebody's paying attention to you that you don't need to like notice them or approach them directly. They're noticing you. And like it would be detrimental for you to take direct action towards them. Yeah, you guys, there could even be more than one person. Like if you have a lot of bosses or something, there could even be more than one person that's taking note of you. And there's a lot of competition around you. So I don't know if you know this, that there's people that were trying to compete with you, but there are. I'm getting annoyed. You're just naturally standing out. You just do you. Yeah. And you know what? The Queen of Pentacles to me is somebody who's very nurturing and very loving. And I can't help but notice she's got her eyes closed. And I feel like that's to this situation, right? You guys have to, with the Queen of Wands, focus on yourself and not worry about helping other people. Because there is a huge energy of competition. And it's like an undertow. So be careful you don't get sucked into this undertow. A boss could have left your job or something. And there's like an opening for... I just keep hearing that Frozen song, like, let them see who you are. Because all this energy, like, literally, this whole stack is, like, pulled in. It's pulled in. So I feel like to bring this reading around, there's something here about just you do you. You have fun. The Knight of Wands is in and out. So if you need to be in and out, be in and out. If you need to travel somewhere, like maybe you have an opportunity to travel for your job or something like that, like, definitely do that. Because there's people watching for like an opportunity, or they're just watching a group of people just in general, and they're watching them online. So if you applied for a job, these people could try to be looking up your social media. If it's open, close it. If you have like your Facebook is public, put it on friends. So like if you applied for a job, put it on friends. That way they can't see who you are. And that way you can just have fun. There's a real need to separate, I wanted to say church and state. You know, and just keep doing you. And then a message is going to come in. But there's something here where this person is really not going to appreciate you being very direct and trying to stand out. If you just do you, they're already going to be impressed. And you're going to move forward here. Yeah, there's some real happiness coming for you guys, pile number 3. So you just hold on. I'm getting the image of somebody water skiing where like the boat takes off and that's like pulling you up behind it. So I feel like I've rambled enough because I feel like I want to get more specific with this, but honestly, I just feel like you guys have had missed opportunities before in the past. So you're trying not to get your hopes up about this situation, but there's a lot of forward momentum, happiness, joy, possibly money, career advancement. There's something coming through. It's just telling you to be very careful and not just focus on yourself. Everybody here has their eyes closed. So try not to focus on other people. And it's okay if you are usually a very helpful person and you need to be more self-focused this month, because there is nefarious energy trying to get around you to undermine you in some way. So that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. I hope that resonated. Please, I feel like I didn't do a good enough job explaining that there's really, really good, strong, happy, pure, vibrant, exciting energy in this pile. I just keep getting that there's something here trying to knock you off your game, but it can't get in. It has no power, especially if you just keep strong boundaries and ignore it for a month and just kind of tai chi out of it. So yeah, and like there is somebody here finding you guys very attractive, but they're doing it from a distance. So anyways, bye guys. Thank you so much for being patrons.